JB here. Hope everyone's doing outstanding. May 28th, 2024, about 30 minutes to the close. Going to be talking really quick, talk about the markets really quick, HPQ, and some other names, but first go from there. We'll start with the S&P, start to give back some of Friday's gains late in the afternoon here at 2 o'clock. There was a release on the discount rate meeting. I don't know if that was it, but it didn't seem like there was much in the way of catalysts, and it seemed like everything was moving lower right at around the 2 o'clock hour. Started to bounce here. S&P's down about 0.2%. Hopefully this holds here. I put on the watch list. I think that 525 handle that's got to hold the next 2 days. Tomorrow is I believe is the Fed mints is tomorrow, and then we have the PCE data on Friday. So those will be well, the PCE data will be probably the most important. So we can chop here, consolidate, and then hopefully back into the 530s and beyond, heading into this current weekend. Well, next weekend. So some of the names. Well, actually, at first I'll talk about CELH. Celsius Holdings is a name. I'm not I haven't really never really dug into it, but it's just been an insane growth story, and it has some parallels, or at least it reminds me of Monster, right? Monster Beverage back in the day. That was one of the names. 2005, 2007, 2000 seemed like it was like could do no wrong, and its stock would go bonkers. There was always rumors of buyouts, and I'm not saying it's the exact parallels with CELH, but that's what it reminds me of. And it would have some of these swings, and it had a high short interest at times where all it would take is a little chink in the armor, whether it be a downgrade or a bad earnings report, even a good earnings report, and the stock would sell off. So it trades at a crazy multiple. CLH, I wasn't even looking. It looked like over 20 times revenues, but it has the growth to back it up. The question would be is if the growth starts to slow, and that looks like there was a Nielsen report that came out, and then Morgan Stanley. I guess there were rumors that they downgraded. I don't know all the entire nuts and bolts of it, but certainly looks interesting. If it holds, and the 50-day moving average is right at 82.13, it bounced back above that's at 83.23 right now. So not a name I'm going to be adding, at least not until I do a lot more due diligence, but certainly a nice little buy to dip opportunity. So that was kind of that, just to answer some questions on CLH. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Oh, so I added those HPQ July calls. So plenty of time on the strikes, inexpensive. I was actually looking for some Junes. I'll probably hold off for now. They have earnings Wednesday after the close. I think it's after the close, but it's on Wednesday. Strong report. I'm not saying it flies under the radar, but it's like I said on the rant this morning, it's not a sexy name. People don't look at it and say, "Wow, huge growth like super micro." Uh, but I do think there's nothing baked in on the AI side. And at some point, I said this morning as well, the big talk is this whole PC refresh that's going to happen because there's no computers built with AI, and there's going to be by 2027, or I forget the exact date. Some analyst says over 139 million new computers have to be sold just on the personal side. Not saying that HPQ is not going to, they're not going to get the lion's share by any stretch of the imagination, and a lot of other companies well more positioned, but I think there's plenty of room for multiple players, right? So we'll see how that plays out. I'm expecting a beat and raise come Wednesday, and I think it trades into the mid 30s, and then beyond. I talked about David Einhorn talking about the stocks talking about the stock and adding a position. But on the flip side, Warren Buffett, they closed their HPQ position, and they had already sold some of it. So um, similar to Apple, when they did their first stake in Apple, and it seemed like Buffett would always turn away from Apple and Amazon, just because the businesses didn't like fit with his persona, or his style, what have you. But then he had those two folks help him, or I forget who it was, and then he finally started getting Apple to a point where they had a tremendous stake. They never really gave a huge explanation when they first started doing the stake, and then you have a similar thing here with HPQ. So they don't have to explain why. No way, it's on their filings. That's all that usually comes out, and it's a lot of times not commentary around it. So we'll have to see how that one plays out. But really like HPQ. Turn Pharmaceuticals 643 here, right at the end of the day. Nice hitting the highs of the sessions. I think that's a good sign. Obviously, I mean, I'm in call, so I want to see it higher. But it's been a tight range for this month. So I think once that 650 breaks again, and then it could start looking at the sevens and beyond. It's blue skies, and then I think it really starts to taking off, especially as a sympathy play with the GLP-1 names. VKTX is doing well today, finally up 4%. I was looking at some strikes on that one, but I'll probably, it's a short week still of my June 100th, so maybe I'll just wait till tomorrow, see if there's follow through. If there is, maybe I'll look to get some strikes. I think that's about it. There's not much else here really to rant about. iRobot was all the way at 1026 and higher in the morning. That sold off. You see the meme names, GameStop, all the way up to 2666. Now it's down here at 23 bucks on that what $940 million offering news. Um, Trying to think of some IIPRs. Couldn't get its foot. It was at 109.81 at the open. Now it's down here 106.31. Still like that one. CGC reports earnings Wednesday before the open. Oh no, it's Thursday before the open. That one's just taking. Seems like the cannabis names are taking on the chin again. There's probably gonna need some kind of kick in the button, which could be the CGC earnings. Can't be this coming week. I didn't talk about C3A. I was looking to get calls into earnings. They report earnings Wednesday, but the stock is just a horrible performer. Even despite the Nvidia news, you would think it would rally on that in sympathy with the entire sector. It didn't, and then today just tumbles all the way down. It's right at 23.57 and hit. So I mean, maybe there's something more to this. Maybe it's one of those names that's just not just there. That run has been done in that AI spot for C3 AI, and it's kind of dead money for now. This earnings probably will tell the picture, but I'll probably just stay away from that. And I think that's it, folks. Let's have a great day. Have a great afternoon. Rock and roll.